I hit the road in the spirit of I'm unstoppable, and boom, here comes the first blunder of the day. As a youth corps member, I served in an amazing government parastatal in Nigeria. Trust law to send you to a sought-after PPA with steez. So, after 2 weeks of accompanying my senior and carrying files, he gave me one of the most dreaded shocker of my career life when he announced thus, "You will be appearing in court alone on Monday." I froze. Man, so many emotions sprang up like newly recruited warriors, waiting to lead me to my doom. Even the magical beings in the fairy tale novels had direction springing up than these untrained warriors messing up with my emotions. I've heard so much about lawyers fumbling in court, and I wondered if this was it for me. The first step to sorting out these warriors that lived rent-free in my head was to pick up the said file, read it like my life depends on it, and have at least ample knowledge of the matter on ground and its history in court before it was adjourned to the new date. I had the weekend to get ready, so I ate well, had enough sleep, and engaged the file like it was a newfound love interest. As the new week approached, reality started to do a number on me. I woke up multiple times. I sought advice from different colleagues. The only people I could not call preparing for my first appearance alone in court were my ancestors. Unfortunately, phones do not fit into their level of exposure. The eve of my first lone appearance, I slept minimally. I woke up excited to have been entrusted with such enormous responsibility. Or so I thought. At 6:30 a.m., I was set, very detailed about my dressing and ready to hit the road. I had breakfast, and at 7 o'clock a.m., I hit the road in the spirit of I'm unstoppable, and boom, here comes the first blunder of the day. I actually went to the wrong court venue. You know some of these courts in some Nigerian cities that will have court 1 to 8 in the United States of America and courts 9 to 12 in the United Kingdom. At this point, I was sure my village people had other plans for me. Being a new week, 9 o'clock a.m. is as sacred as saving my career. By the time I found the actual venue, it was already 8:47 a.m. and I was sweaty within but cold on the outside. My early morning steeds vanished, and all that mattered to me was getting to my destination early enough because, as expected, the court starts to sit at 9 o'clock a.m. and you expected to get seated in court at least 30 minutes before 9 o'clock a.m. Fortunately, I made it to the court at 8:51 a.m. and as I did observe while accompanying my seniors, I approached the clerk for the appearance record and the court list for the day to identify my matter and know the number. Look out for my video on steps to take once you enter the court as a beginner for more details on this. When I was done with the necessary steps, I had to sit down, adjust myself, and be reminded by my half-defeated warriors, or so I thought, that I was alone. Heaven smiled on me and the judge was delayed. So by the time the court started sitting, I had made peace with myself, my steez, and my composure. Upon the arrival of the court, my heart started to race, but my physical appearance looked nothing like the war that was going on in my inner being. As the court clerk called up every matter, the drums of my heart I never knew existed began to beat faster. Boom! It was time for me to announce my appearance. My matter had just been called up. So I said to myself, "Baby girl, you have to maintain steez and composure. You've got this." I allowed the plaintiff announce the appearance, and I rose with so much grace and elegance, and my novel voice rang through the court. "Most respectfully, my lord, I am CJ blah blah blah, and I do not know whether there was something about the sound of my voice, or it was time for my ancestors to wage war against me for ignoring them." The entire courtroom turned their gaze on me. I could feel their eyes that I almost forgot to say whom I was representing. Victoriously, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to rise above the waters. I sat down, and my people, my entire being, celebrated my first victory. The next stage was my preliminary objection. I informed the court that I had a preliminary objection, and the other proceedings of the court was history. I smiled home, feeling like a winner, without bruises. I thought I had seen it all, but one day was going to be my first baptism of fire. I'm sure you would love to know about my first baptism of fire. Stay glued to my channel for other exciting experiences I've had in court in the course of my career. Meanwhile, let us highlight the lessons of this narration. Lesson number 1. To grow, you must always take the first step. It takes a lot to conquer the fears, the what ifs, but once you take that step, growth begins. So please take that step. It is essential. Lesson number 2. As a new week, you learn first by your readiness to learn, your willingness to practice what you've observed, and by being humble to ask questions. Lesson number 3. Always read your files. Lesson number 4. Know the location of your court. It is very essential. Be certain about the venue before the day to avoid being disorganized. 5. Time is of essence in the legal profession. I am not perfect at that, but I will tell you for free that time factor is something you should not ignore. If you have watched this video to this point, you are indeed ready to take great steps. Watch out for more inspiring narrations and information. Lawyers, kindly share or tell me about your first experience in court as a beginner. Non-lawyers, tell me about your novel step in your own career or your first important step in life. How did you feel? What major challenge did you face? How did you overcome it? I look forward to hearing from you. I believe we can learn from your own story. If you have not subscribed, please do that now and click the notification button to be notified when next I post a video. Till then, stay informed, stay happy, embrace only positive vibes. Bye-bye.